All right. I see this slogan everywhere. I absolutely agree. Hell, I used to listen to Jim Quinn on a Pittsburgh radio station that used to be a DJ. He says that shit all the time. But I'm going to do videos preaching this. I preach this all the time. It isn't just this slogan. I'm not saying the slogan ain't true, but it's not just that. People spend too much time on the slogan. Yeah, those who control the narrative control the masses, absolutely. But I argue and say in videos, it ain't just the narrative. There's something more dangerous. It's that they call the narrative, and it's something that they'll categorize under a narrative if you want to argue that. But it ain't just a narrative. It's those who control the rules of etiquette and code of conduct. They can add to and take away the codes of conduct. Say certain things that were okay and normal or now not okay, and say some really weird things or whatever that are okay. You know what I mean? And you put them in government, and you put them as people who are in charge of the health department, the mental health department, and they have access to teach kids this code of conduct is okay and that is not okay. They can redefine and alter the code of conduct as we know it, like how you're raised, and they can teach kids shit like that or whatever. And what they can teach kids when you as a parent are not around, and at the same time they want your kids to be in a public school, and they want to be able to tell your kids shit without you knowing what they're teaching their kids. I mean, other than reading, writing, and arithmetic. So I'm saying it around kids, but then at the same time, full-grown adults, take in consideration with full-grown adults, not kids, who accept a certain thing as a code of conduct, right? And adults how many adults will go right with something? Okay, it's okay to be like this or that now, perverted shit even. So yeah, they're brainwashing kids, but look at a lot of the adults that play the etiquette game or whatever, and it'll jump right on board with some really depraved shit that's completely okay, and they're bringing it into the churches now, and they want to bring in, you got far left against far right conservative, but they're splitting up churches now, where churches want to be tolerant and allow certain things in, which is madness, and then so many things that they want to allow in the name of freedom of choice. But if it's such a freedom of choice, bad decisions, and government is supposed to subsidize these bad decisions too, and say that they're completely okay or whatever the hell too. Oh, and then if you want to talk about freedom of choice, I had a few exchange comments with somebody on some other social media. Oh, they'll go with the thing, you must not care about, you must be against freedom of choice. No, I don't want to control anything else anybody does. I don't give a shit. But I don't think the government should pay for everybody's bad decisions and say that they're okay, and not discourage bad decisions. And don't want to go on and on about Roe versus Wade. Those who accuse you of being against everybody else's freedom to choose, you notice the ones that will make the argument against you, whether on text or out there in the world, oh, you're against freedom to choose. These people are against your freedom of choose to opt out of a certain kind of behavior. You catch them in that shit all the time. They always play the card, oh, you're against their freedom of choose. And a lot of times you're talking about, well, okay, what about, my freedom to choose to opt out of something? Ain't that a freedom of choice too? Oh, and for people that are Bible thumpers out there, or a lot of the Bible thumpers and all that, I think some of the people that are more conservative and nicer ones, they know what I'm saying here. The ones that you're friends with out there in the world, they understand this too, and they have no problem with me saying, okay, for example, okay, yeah, you can wear an Air Jordan on one foot and a high-heeled women's shoe on the other thing, and a sailor hat and a dress all at once, and hey, I'm busy living my life. I don't care. I'm not. We say that, yeah, we don't want to do things against anybody that's against the law or whatever. Yeah, but certain Bible thumpers will say, oh, you're, what do you call it? You're tolerating things like you're compromising with the left. No, I'm not. The other Bible thumpers that are nice, like some of them, us that are both black and white, that swear like ghetto truck drivers or sailors, that I worked with, know a concept that when I say, okay, yeah, do whatever you want. And no, by all means, we're not being tolerant. Some of us, it's a nice way of saying go fuck yourself, and put a middle finger in your face. I mean, we can be both ways about that to get along with somebody that we have to work next to that's very liberal in some places, and they want to do all the drugs they want, have all the sex they want, and go collect a paycheck, get drunk so they can run around and do whatever the hell. These people that you're being nice to, I mean, then there's an argument there that, like I said, some Bible thumpers say you're being tolerant, and they don't realize that sometimes it's just our polite way of saying go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? We can use certain statements like we're tolerating, we're not, by no means. Some of us that ain't as domesticated, like that ain't the domesticated Bible thumpers that believe in God. Okay, picture it as if you're a more domesticated Bible thumper that's nicer to me, that doesn't swear at all, right? You have a non-swearing version of that, so you don't fight with people and that you don't get harassed, and then you talk under your breath. That's okay too, because you can't evangelize the whole world either. There's no talking to people, and then and say you're, instead of go fuck yourself, you're saying, oh, stuff you, or go get stuffed, or get go sit on a tack or something. I mean, I shouldn't have to explain a lot of that to people, but it's always good to have that out there. You know what I mean? If you were a comedian on stage somewhere, you can say things jokingly about it. But I shouldn't even have to ramble about shit like that to people, but some people don't grasp some concepts. In some cases, there's no point in me talking about anything like that in video, but yet there is a point, because there are idiots out there. Some of the things we call common knowledge in a smug way, whether we say it, whether we swear we're saying it, they don't grasp it, or they're just willfully ignorant and don't give a damn or whatever. All they care about is pushing. They'll accuse you of being intolerant or whatever, or they'll accuse you of being too tolerant. One side will accuse you of being you're too tolerant, and the other one will consider you this or that if you don't kiss their ass. And everybody who claims to defend freedom of choice don't want your freedom of choice to opt out of whatever behavior. Hey, if you don't believe in a particular behavior, and should you be forced to accept it? So their philosophy of freedom of choice contradicts themselves. Rules for thee and not for me. And it reeks of, oh yeah, I want my freedom of choice, but I should be able to tell you, demand that you coddle me and take a part of your personal life to coddle me, or else you're a bigot or something. You know what I mean? Well, the over-domesticated side will take a statement and tell you it's the rhetoric of, oh, you be intolerant. You're being you're being intolerant. Excuse me. We're actually politely telling them to go fuck yourselves. I'm being repetitive, but you get what I mean.